All right, guys, Great American Bash Part 2. I went a little long on the first part because I did something I don't know. I talked about each match in detail and where I think they go from there, and I talked about how they show their strength and athleticism. I normally don't do that, but yeah. I want to go back to the Obi Fema match, even though I left off in the contract signing. So, in that Obi Fema match, at one point, Yoshiki did his jump splash off the top rope on Oba. Oba kicked out. Josh hit him with, right after that, the ref had gotten knocked down and was down. And Briggs had hit Oba in the back with the belt, NXT Championship. Yoshiki went up to the top and saw that Briggs had the belt, and he waved it off. He went down, picked up Oba. They started fighting some more. And then, at one point, Briggs took his chain off, was telling one of Yoshiki to use it, and he said no. And then, the thing is, Briggs, these last few weeks, has been trying Yoshiki to win by any means necessary, if that means cheating. Yoshiki, being from Japan, keeps saying he's a man of honor. So, yeah. Then, right after that, he got back in the ring with the chain, and Yoshiki went to hit Oba doctor, moved out of the way. He hit Briggs, turned around, he got powerbombed by Oba, and Oba wins the match. So like I said, 4 out of 5 stars for this match. Then we go to the contract signing where we get all 3 guys coming out. Santana starts it off by pandering the crowd, saying, welcome to Hot. He goes, what's up, Atlanta, GA? And, you know, just pandering the crowd. He said, now we got that away. He basically said, you know, how he had a lot of respect for the TNA title and Joe Hendry. And he basically gave Joe Hendry compliments, said he respects what Joe's done in the business, what Joe's done with what Joe did with the TNA title, but how Santana was going to be the guy to bring him back. And then he looked at Trick and said, I don't have any respect for you. And went on to trash talk him, told him that lately it seems like you can't win a match, whether it's this group's help or this group's help. And then he set the mic down, basically said how he's bringing the TNA title back at Slammiversary to TNA and bringing it back to its roots, which he means Samoa Joe and AJ Styles, Robert Roode, James Storms, them guys in the early days. And then he signed the contract. Then Joe Hendry grabbed the mic, basically returned the favor, told Santana why you want to, I have the utmost, told Santana he had respect for him and all he's done in his career, basically. And then he said, but why you want to bring it back, TNA title back to its roots, I want to bring it back. I want to keep elevating it to new levels. He goes, I should have never lost it in the first place. That's on me. Then he trash talked Trick. Then he slid the contract over. I don't ever see, and Joe never signed the contract. And then Trick basically trash talked both. Basically said 2 things for sure, one thing for sure. He said the one thing for sure is he don't need no help to win any match. Then he put the mic down, and then how Slammiversary was going to beat them both. He didn't need any help. And then he put the mic down and signed the contract. Now, Joe never signed the contract, so I don't know if they play that in the story. Probably not. And then Trick went to leave the ring, and like Joe kind of grabbed him on the arm like that and basically told Trick he was going to be the one to take it from him this Sunday. And then him and Santana both said a couple more things and said how Trick talks way too much. Then Santana hit him, Joe hit him, they put him through the table, and then the lights went out. Dark State came out and attacked Santana and Ortiz. Or Dark State came out and attacked Hendry and Santana. Dark State came out and attacked Santana and Joe Hendry. And then we get a segment backstage with so as far as the contract signing, I thought it was okay. I've seen better contract signings. It's not a match, so I can't really rate it 4 out of 5 stars. But anyways, then we see a segment backstage where Obi had requested an interview time. Obi basically said that he had respect for Yoshiki and talked about how dominant of a ruler he is. Just basically talked about himself and was giving respect to Yoshiki. Yoshiki had come back there. So basically Obi said that was one of his toughest matches yet, and how Yoshiki is an incredible performer, and he was basically starting to say he wanted to give him a rematch. And then Yoshiki came back there because of Briggs' shenanigans and told that Oba that he's sorry for Briggs, that he will not win like that, and that he's a man, that Yoshiki's a man of honor, and Obi understood. He said, told Obi, I respect you. And then Yoshiki said, I respect you. And then Oba told Yoshiki down the road he'd give him another rematch so they could do this the right way, but leave Briggs out of it. Then Briggs came in talking mad crap to Oba and pushed Oba. Oba pushed back. Briggs said how he could beat Oba, that he knew he could beat Oba, that he could be the guy to beat him. And Oba's face lit up and he's like, basically told him to bring it. Then security came back and broke it up. So I'm sure we're going to get a match in the next couple weeks on NXT programming between Briggs and Oba. Between Briggs and Oba. Or we're going to get a triple threat where Oba gets that Yoshiki beats Briggs to become NXT champion. I doubt it, but Briggs hasn't, I don't think Briggs has won a match in how long? He hardly ever wins. I don't even know why Briggs is still there, but anyways, yeah. And then we move on from that. After security broke up the Oba Femi and Josh Briggs fight there, we stay in the backstage area where Ava's standing there and Trick comes in and he's all mad because of what Hendry and Santana did to him. I said, what the hell was that? She said, you tell me what that was. And she just basically accused him of being a part, she accused Trick of being a part of Dark State. And she said, they attacked me at one time too. She goes, huh? We'll see this Tuesday. And she basically told Trick he's going to have a 6-man take against Dark State. And Trick looked, with who? And he's looking around and goes, you? And she said, you, Joe Hendry, and Santana versus Dark State. And he didn't like that one little bit. So then we go back to the ring and we get the entrances and we get the women's tag team match with Jordynne Grace and Blake Monroe versus Jacy Jayne and Fallon Henley. Now, I'm going to give this match 4 out of 5 stars, but I still think this match should have been in between the women's and men's North American title. I don't think this should be the main event. I understand why they did it. But I thought it was a good match. Jacy Jayne, like the Izzy Dame and Sol Ruca women's match. These 4 women show why NXT women's division, along with the main card division for WWE, is the best women's division on the planet. Jacy, I think, even though I'm not a Jacy fan, I think she showed this weekend that she is not the most beatable champion. She put on a show. She dominated a little bit of this match. Jordynne did her thing. Jordynne did what she always does. Gets in the ring, plays the power game. She's a tough lady. Power slams, power punches, all that stuff. Blake showed why WWE signed her in the first place. You know, coming from, if you've never seen her in AEW, go watch highlights. She was a top star there, but yeah. Not much else to say about this match other than, you know, these 4 women put on a show why the women's division, WWE, is the best women's division in the world. But yeah, there you have it. 4 out of 5 stars for the Blake Monroe, so Blake Monroe and Jordynne Grace versus Jacy Jayne and Fallon Henley. I'm giving it 4 out of 5. So all matches had 4 out of 5. For the whole show, I will give it no, I'm just going to give it a 7.5. Or I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 just for the fact that, you know, I don't think the women's match should have been a main event. And I don't think, and because of the Jasper Troy, Javon Evans finish, the roll-up, I didn't like the roll-up finish, but otherwise, this would have got at least 9. But like I said, Blake Monroe, Jordynne Grace, Jacy Jayne, and Fallon Henley get a 4 out of 5. I hope you all enjoy the show. Oh, yeah, one more thing before I go. Like I said, the last match, Jordynne Grace and Blake Monroe versus Jacy Jayne and Fallon Henley. 4 out of 5. For the night, the whole card, because of the Javon Evans roll-up win, and I thought the main event shouldn't, the match that was main event shouldn't have been main event. I'm giving this PLE an 8 out of 10. I'm giving this NXT an 8 out of 10. Match of the night, Obi Femi and Yoshiki Ika Nakamura. My favorite match of the night was obviously Jasper Troy and Javon Evans. I'm going to say moment of the night. Moment of the night for me was obviously, so match of the night, Yoshiki Nakamura and Obi Femi. And then favorite match was obviously Jasper Troy and Javon Evans. Moment of the night was probably I don't really have a moment of the night for this one. I'll just probably say Wade Barrett saying bouncy bouncy.